Championship predictions time once again. Round number 33 coming up this weekend, and we are getting dangerously close to the business end of the season, aren't we? Those last 10 sort of games, getting close to that mark, and once that hits, it's sort of this is the end as it goes. We'll start by reviewing round number 32. I got one absolutely bob on result, and that was Pompey nil, Sheffield United 1, and that came in quite late on in the day with the last minute Andre Brooks winner. I had Millwall to beat Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah. Preston to draw against Watford, City to draw against Wrexham. The rest of the results I got wrong in terms of everything, really. So let's hope for a little bit more improvement, a little bit more consistency. From me and maybe a certain team over there as well. But we'll delve into that today. We'll start by talking about Friday night, where Blackburn play Preston in a Lancashire derby up at Ewood. Michael O'Neill has come in, has made an impact. He's won his first game as Rovers manager, went away from home to an inconsistent QPR, but got the job done. A couple of really nice goals. Moshita for the first goal. The assist is absolutely stunning. I thought they'd lose at QPR, but went there, posed themselves, got the win. They host the Preston side, who got a draw against Watford in the end. That's a couple of draws in a row for North End, isn't it? A couple of draws in three. They beat Pompey in the middle of that. I thought the Ipswich Watford draw were back to back. Anyway, not important. They're starting to build up a little bit more form. Still, obviously, very, very good at Deepdale compared to away from home. I just wonder, would Michael O'Neill take 4 points from his first two games, or would Heckingbottom would he be satisfied with a point on the road? I think the answer is yes. So I think this will end up in a stalemate, although Blackburn won, North End won. To kick us off, it is West Brom versus Coventry in an early kickoff, quite a few early kickoffs actually, on Saturday. And Albion need to start moving sort of quickly. They've drawn a couple. They've got one defeat in four, which is a fact, which is not the worst if you're down near the bottom of the league. But those are three draws, and a home to Stoke 0-0, away to Derby 1-1. Okay, they probably deserved something from the game, but last minute equaliser, and very much on the rope against Birmingham, and had a goal disallowed right at the end. At home to Coventry, who are going to come at you and they're going to come all guns blazing, and they're going to play a certain brand of football. Are out. Do I have confidence in Albion to sort of contain them? Not at the moment. I'm going to go West Brom 0, Coventry 2, and especially off the back of Coventry's magnificent 3-1 win. That just might be the sort of tide turning again in their favour, and I'll go for them to back it up with an away win. West Brom 0, Cov 2. Stoke versus Leicester, another Midlands sort of derby. This is a weird one, because you look at the league table and you expect Stoke to win, but just look at the quality Leicester have and kind of go, surely they can put something on the board. Maybe they go and win away from home, and that's just a surprise result away from home. Maybe they somehow grind the result out. Maybe we see something this Leicester group we haven't seen from this Leicester team and this Leicester group in a while, but I just can't see it. The Bet365. I think Stoke will be up for this. I think they'll want to get back to winning ways. Their form's been terrible recently, really. No win in 5, 6. So it's not good from Stoke. They need to start picking up results, and I think this might be a nice fixture for them to do exactly that. I'm going to go Stoke 2, Leicester 1 at the Bet365. Swansea versus Bristol City in a Anglo Welsh derby. It's not derby, is it? It's not derby at all. There's a little bit of needle between the two sides. It's not derby. But yeah, certainly no love lost between the two fan bases, is what I'd say. This was a 3-0 Bristol win earlier in the season. Obviously, context is key. Swansea didn't have a manager. They just sacked Alan Sheehan, and they had a couple of chances in that game. Swansea, they could have got something from the game. They could have scored, could have changed the game state. Anyway, we won 3-0. We were the better team on the day. Bad Swansea. This is going to be incredibly difficult and a very, very different test, because under Vito Matos, Swansea are very, very good at home and are picking up results. Yeah, they lost 2-0 at Derby, but first half they were pretty dominant, and Eustace had to change things up, and Derby eventually got a response. But Again, game state, just one goal when you're on top could have changed things, but at home is where they are at their best. Swans, I'd take a draw in this one, and I think we might just have enough in us to get something out of it. I wouldn't mind, a win backed up by 2 draws. Obviously, it would be ideal if we could put a couple of wins together, but just a little bit more consistency. Don't lose as much as we're doing at the minute. I'll go Swansea 1, Bristol City 1 in that one down at Swansea.com. It is Hull versus QPR next, and feels like Hull haven't played in a while, but I don't know if I'm imagining things here. They didn't play in the cup, did they? And their game got called off because Ipswich were playing in the cup. So um, yeah, maybe there's just been that many games that I haven't seen Hull in a while. Their last game was at home to Bristol City. Uh, Obviously, they're still in the middle of their sort of weird run of 5 consecutive home games. Oh, they did play in the cup. They played against Chelsea. They got knocked out. Anyway, not particularly important. Chelsea at home. It is what it is. They'll want to get back on track after a couple of disappointing home results, and I think they'll do that against an inconsistent QPR side who are not in the greatest of form. I'll go Hull 2, QPR 1. It is Wrexham versus Ipswich. Again, this fixture happened in the FA Cup, and now it is in the league as well. And we highlighted this from an Ipswich perspective of back-to-back away games at Wrexham, and then a couple more away games, difficult away games to come for the Tractor Boys. I was quite impressed, a little bit impressed with Wrexham. I mean, and obviously that's another thing to consider. You've got a short turnaround for Wrexham, whereas Ipswich have got a whole week. Whether they've gone back down to Ipswich and then back up to Wrexham or not, I don't know. But they've had a whole week to sort of digest this, and while Wrexham have played a midweek against Bristol City, which would have been a draining game for them, I was reasonably impressed. I thought they had some good patterns about them. Just that final sort of ball at times, that final cutting edge in that first half in particular, where they had so much of the ball, so much territory, and they just didn't quite. They were 1-0 up, but probably could have been 2 or 3. Didn't have that cutting edge in the final third. Maybe if there was different personnel on the pitch, it's a different story, but ultimately didn't happen. I think they'll beat Ipswich here. Might be a little bit bold, but I'll go for it. I'll go for the repeat scoreline. Actually, I'll go Wrexham 1, Ipswich 0. Again, there's a 0-0. Wrexham contained them at Portman Road early in the season, didn't they? I'll go for the Red Dragons to beat the Tractor Boys and really propel themselves into potentially the playoffs by the end of the day. Watford versus Derby is up next. It's a crazy game early in the season. This was Derby 2-0 up, and then Watford somehow coming back from that and winning 3-2. Derby obviously much better on the road than they are at Pride Park, which is a little bit weird, but hey ho, there we go. Watford, I don't know. That's a good point against Preston. Ed Still's in through the door, and now he's got his feet under the table. Can he start moving and can he start getting some wins on the road, wins on the board even? Just against Derby and John Eustace and him against Ed Still, does he get the better of him? Is that sort of tactical novice versus expert John Eustace in terms of certainly English experience? I'll go Derby to win this one. I said to go 1-0 Derby, but I'll go Watford 1, Derby 2. I think they might. Derby have got power now, don't they? Norwich versus Birmingham is up next, and Norwich are just like Barcelona at the moment. They're bloody incredible. And despite all of that unbelievable form, which has carried on for a long period of time now, they're still 17th. But that's just how bad they were at the start of Liam Manning. Birmingham rock up, who are obviously, I've said this about Birmingham for the longest time. Again, like a lot of teams, much better at St Andrews, much better at home, St Andrews, than they are away from home. I think you've got to back Norwich in this, who are just on red hot form at the moment. So I'll do that. I'll go Norwich 1, Norwich 2, Birmingham 1. It is Southampton versus Charlton up next. Another crazy fixture in the reverse one, where it was Charlton 1, Southampton 5-1 at half time. Yeah, Nathan Jones isn't getting a tune out of this Southampton team. This Charlton team couldn't get a tune out of Southampton either, but is not getting a tune out of this Charlton team at the moment, and they're in free fall. They lost 3-1 at home to a direct rival in Pompey, who are now only 3 points behind them, and the goal difference is equal. I can't see them going to St Mary's and well, on what current form is, and Southampton's sort of recent, increase in points returns, I'll go for the Saints to beat Charlton again. I'll go Southampton 3, Charlton 1, a bitter return to St Mary's for Nathan Jones. Millwall versus Pompey up next, and look, Millwall great away win at Charlton. I suppose it's 2 trips to East London, is it East London? East London, yeah, it's East London, isn't it? In quite quick succession, but Millwall away is a much difficult, much more sterner test than it is Charlton at the moment. Millwall just grinding results out. They won 1-0 down away at Sheffield Wednesday. No bother, 2 quick fire goals, and they just grinding results out at the moment. I think they'll keep a clean sheet, and I think they'll win and beat Pompey. I'll go Millwall 2, Pompey 0. It is Middlesbrough versus Oxford up next. I think we'll see a riled up Middlesbrough. I think we'll see a Middlesbrough that want to prove a point to the rest of the division and once again reinstate that these guys are not going away. This is not going to be the start of a fall off. We have seen sort of streaky runs from Kim Hellberg. They went 1-4, did win for 4, and then they've gone on 1-6, which has ultimately propelled them to the top of the league for temporarily, been overtaken by Cov again. But I hope for Middlesbrough's sake, this is not the start of another few games where they, maybe in control of a lot of the games but can't quite score, can't quite put the ball in the back of the net, don't have that cutting edge. I think they'll put Oxford to sword, and I think this is quite a nice fixture to come back to. Anyway, well, look at the division at the moment, second nicest fixture in the division, apart from Sheffield Wednesday. So I'll go Middlesbrough 3, Oxford 0. And finally, on the Sunday, it is Sheffield United versus Sheffield Wednesday, and I think Sheffield Wednesday could go down because it's happening on the Sunday, even before they play this game, depending on how other results go. Maybe West Brom do something, Blackburn do something. Anyway, it could be done before that, and I'm sure Sheffield Wednesday fans, maybe an inkling in them, will be hoping it's done before that. I mean, they're going down anyway, aren't they? But maybe just an inkling in them get relegated before kickoff at Bramall Lane, because if they get relegated here and if they get tonked, it's just going to add to what has been a sorry season for those Owls fans. I can't see anything but a Sheffield United win, and I think United will be riled up or very motivated to go. And if it's not confirmed beforehand, go and relegate Wednesday and do it in convincing manner. I'll go Sheffield United 3, Sheffield Wednesday 0, which was the score at Hillsborough as well, to the away side on that occasion. Anyway, those are my championship predictions for round number 33. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. All 12 games predictions will be appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers.